You know, having the right stand set up and having it be successful for you year after year is well worth its weight in gold. But also, you can't be afraid to make changes, to adapt to the situations that present themselves, and to be aggressive in many cases. As you're gonna see on this week's episode, it's been working out pretty good for us so far.
Condition, lights out, stomping all competition. My utmost to his highest, it gets no flyer. We set the mainframe on fire. Cold red for the lead from the pedal. I push to the metal, the dust never settles. F5 level, kick up the bass and the treble. Cause faith, that's a rebel. I can show you the devil. I blaze a trail like the rays from tail light sound, shaking the ground like earthquakes and hail might. Someday I'll die, but not tonight. Excuse me while I light up the sky. Light up the sky.
Especially early season, and here in Texas, it's really hot. And the problem is when it's hot outside, those thermals, they're not your friend. And of course we use ozonics and everything else in our favor, trying to, minimize our scent getting to the deer. But the higher I can get up, the safer I feel, especially in early season. I think that gives me an advantage. Now, when it comes to later season and, the cool fronts blow in, the winds switch out of the north, man, it makes it a lot easier. I don't feel like the deer can smell us as easy. I mean, whether we're on the ground or we're on like a 5-6 foot elevated platform in a ground blind. But the problem is everything's dead at this time. All the predators are coming to these areas that these deer congregate because they want food too, and they know that's where they're gonna be able to trap one of these deer. The deer seem like they're on edge this time of year. I mean, they seem so alert. And I mean, the smallest movement, especially with more skyline and less foliage, they catch your movement so good, and it seems like it's a lot harder for me.
Especially towards late season, you may have hang-on stands in a tree or either tripods, and if you were to sit in those tripods, you're totally exposed. Many times we're hunting those ground blinds not to just be out of the elements, but mainly because we're way too exposed. On this hunt, Chad and I decided we're gonna go to his main. Instead of getting in the ground blind setup, we're gonna go ahead and get 22 foot up in a tree on some hang-on stands. And there's a reason for that though too. It's early season and we have great back cover. The tree's loaded with leaves. We have a good south wind. These bucks are in bachelor groups, a little more relaxed than normal because they're still in that late summer feeding pattern. I know I say it all the time, but it's true. We're looking for a mature buck. We're really not sure what's showing up. We've seen some okay deer, but not some great deer, but you never know, tonight could be the night.
I know that was a good shot. I could see the blood coming out of that deer as soon as I hit. Man, I can't wait to get my hands on this deer. And there he is. Actually went further than I thought. That's a beautiful Texas hill country, mature 9-point. I think this deer might be 180, 200 pounds. For this area, that's just incredible. Man, I couldn't be prouder. Great shot, perfect evening. What a hunt. You know, one of the things I noticed too is like if you hunt a setup, say in the early season and you got a south wind, well, when you're hunting that particular area, even if you have a north setup right by there that you're saving for when that north wind shifts on you, those deer are going to approach in a different direction and come into the area maybe from the opposite direction because of the wind. They want to stay safe. If it's a smart deer, they're going to come with the wind in their face and they're going to be smelling what they're going into to make sure there's no danger. If you haven't been successful and you've been at it for a while, it's time to make a change. I mean, if I'm hunting an area that I know is good, I'm not seeing the deer that I know is in the area, I'm approaching right, I've got everything, the wind in my favor, everything is perfect, but I'm just not successful, I'm not seeing the deer that I need to see, don't be afraid to make a change. Go in there midday, change your setup, put a different stand up. I've seen setups be moved 50 yards, 20 yards, and make all the difference in the world.
Now it's several years later. Chad and I are going back to his main. It's the afternoon. We're gonna go ahead and get in this setup really early, but here's the deal. We're not gonna get back in the hang-on stands that he shot that buck a while back in, a number of years ago. We're gonna get in the north ground blind setup. That's an elevated ground blind and be covered a little bit because we don't have good back cover there. When it's late season, you got to think about these things because you can't just set up where you did early in the season. We have a perfect north wind. We've been seeing some pretty good deer here, but we've only sat here one time. We waited on the right wind. We're excited to get into this setup, and hey, I think we're going to do good.
Never gets old. Holy cow, this deer's bases are ridiculous. We've never seen this deer in person. We thought he was a stag. He's been in velvet all season.
Chad makes a shot count. Look, it's a double lung all the way. I can see blood flying as the deer's running. He is not going to be far.
Oh, I see lots of blood already. Oh my gosh, look at that. I don't know what that is. That broadhead tore him up, I can tell you that. Something's in there. Yeah, it's a bloody Otto. Oh, there's some more blood right there. See his tracks where he's just running. Lots of blood there. Way over there, buddy.
Awesome.
Oh man, what a mess. What a mess. Look at that.
Look at that though.
Look at the size of that body.
It's huge. Huge.
Well, we cleaned him up and look what we got here. This is a really nice deer. He's got bases, I swear they're the size of Coke cans. I've never seen a deer actually have mass like that. It's incredible. He's got a crazy, crazy point coming out. I've never seen anything like that either. This deer is so unusual. Very unusual body size. I mean, just a freak of a deer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pointer. Wow, what a stud.
You know, if there's one thing that all y'all take away from this episode, don't be afraid to adapt and to be aggressive when you need to and make changes. And I guarantee you it'll pay off just like it pays off for Chad and I.
Play these games no more, and I'm feeling like just letting go. It's taking everything I know. The wheels keep burning. I'm about ready to run. When I get angry, I feel.
I love today's show because Chad is talking to us about the importance of elevation, right? I love hunting out of ground blinds, so do you. But sometimes in the right scenario and situation, just a little bit of elevation, a little bit of an elevated view can mean all the difference in the world between success and failure. But you know, elevation isn't just a hunting issue. It's also a life issue and the difference it can make. All of us have decisions in life to make, don't we? We make decisions for our family. We make decisions about our futures. We make decisions about our finances. Every day we are bombarded with these many different options. And sometimes we worry, are we getting it right? How do we know the right thing to do? Well, let me give you a scripture here that has really served me well and helped me over the 26 years that I've walked with the Lord. It says in Proverbs chapter 3 that if we would trust in the Lord with all of our heart and that we would not lean only to our own understanding, but in all of our ways acknowledge God. He said, I will direct your path. What God said is when you accept me and when you surrender everything to me and when you trust me and you lean on me, I will begin to show you ways and show you avenues and show you things that you should do and decisions that you should make that will ultimately turn out for your good and for your benefit. He's a God that loves us and He cares about us and He wants our lives to be full of joy and peace and hope. And I pray that you would know that today. It's served me well over 26 years. I pray that you'll know that same joy and peace. If you'd like to know more about a personal relationship with God through His Son, Jesus Christ, just go to elusivewildlife.com. Click on that Moment of Truth tab.
Go!